Today, another shooting, unfortunately. A shooting near a California elementary school leaves several dead and children wounded. 3 people were shot and killed Tuesday morning when a gunman opened fire at multiple locations in Northern California, including near an elementary school, authorities said. 2 people were killed and 4 people, including 3 children, were wounded in the incident. The shooter was killed by the police. Mercy Medical Center spokesman Marcy Miracle said 3 patients were being treated at the hospital. There you go with those names. I don't know, for some reason with these shootings, they're always throwing these odd names of people and people involved and all this. I don't know, it seems strange, but that seems to be the way it is. Marcy Miracle. The shootings reported in and around Rancho Tehama Elementary School, about 130 miles north Sacramento, occurring at the time some parents were dropping off their children, so it happened while they're dropping these children off. Tehama County Assistant Sheriff Phil Johnson told police are investigating at least 5 crime scenes, which started at a house and moved to outside the school. It was unclear if any of the shooting scenes happened on school grounds. Brian Flint told Record Searchlight newspaper after the incident that his neighbor was the gunman in Tuesday's deadly shooting. Flint said the neighbor was acting crazy, threatening him and his roommate before stealing his truck. Well, that's bizarre. Flint said his neighbor had been shooting hundreds of rounds from large magazines. Okay, so I'm just reading this news story because it's breaking news, but what does that remind you of? The recent shooting in Texas at the church. What did the neighbors and people say about that shooter? Many times late at night he would be shooting all night long, shooting his guns all night long. And what are they saying here? Flint said his neighbor had been shooting hundreds of rounds from large magazines. So when you think about that, you think about they're promoting that for gun control, right? They're emphasizing that. So then it makes you wonder, it brings up the possibility of false flags. I don't know that. The case in this one, I certainly don't know that, but I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah. Hundreds of rounds from large magazines. And this is the neighbor saying this. And what did they say about the Texas shooter? The neighbors were saying the same thing. Witnesses at the school described multiple rounds being fired. Coy Ferreira told he was dropping off his daughter at the school just before 8 a.m. when he heard a firecracker-like sound. The school secretary then ran out and told children to go inside because there was an active shooter. Ferreira said he ended up in a classroom with 14 students and witnessed a boy being struck by bullets. Janine Quest, an administrative assistant with the Corning Union Elementary School District, said no one was killed at the school, but a number of students were shot and wounded.
Multiple victims and multiple shots at the school, the elementary school. I am told at this point the suspected shooter is deceased by law enforcement bullets. That's what I'm told. I don't have a list of victims. I don't know how many victims. I know of at least 3 deaths. I don't know any information at this time about any of the victims at the school. I know that we have medevaced a number of students. I know that the school has been cleared. I know that we have the children that were attending school in a safe location at this time. That is, you now know really what I know. Okay? We have about 100 law enforcement personnel in Rancho Tehama right now with multiple scenes. I can think of at least 5 scenes that I've been told about. So we are spread thin, but we have a lot of resources right now, and you can see that we're still requesting ambulances and we're still doing our work. That's the only information I have.